Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow. EA
I mean, I'm not.
just did not challenge him. It's like team got challenged.
They always sell their souls, you know.
Hey,
It's
it's
like
all
money. I want money. It's like really, all right, go sell your soul to some company that, like EA, man. Come on.
oh,
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Where's my Xbox controller? Put this here for now for the charge.
awesome.
I got my coffee ready. I got my water ready. I gotta just volume. Okay, let me get in here and swap just some volumes real fast. Make sure the green is in the right spot. Almost. Close. I'm almost there. I've got a little cord, you know.
I have so much still.
There we go. Nope. Okay.
Wonder weapon is just.
I think it's okay. Close the doors.
Can't see what
Just okay.
Can't see what concentration this is going to be a very interesting because I think the muffin is glacial, and I don't have power.
Wait, what?
Glacial is the element for fancy without the gateways, and I don't have cover, and I can't use it as a test the trial card.
Hey, let's jump into your channel because I think your connection gets bad when when I call you. Let's jump into your actual channel in your server.
Okay. All right, I wanted to see.
It's a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's sometimes it cuts out a lot. That's why I was just double checking.
Yeah, well, that's just because I'm trying to like focus it. Hopefully, when the upgrade comes, everything is fixed. Everything actually
Oh,
works
okay, so
properly.
it's not an internet. It's not an internet issue. It's your computer
No,
issue, right?
it's computer issue because I'm the mic is going through the audio for is going through a program which then has I think an AI to do the noise compression, like noise isolation, and then from that then it goes in. From that then it comes. So let's just say this CPU is working very very. It is doing things that it should.
Oh, speaking of doing something real quick,
Basically, the entire wattage of this computer is 65 watts. And the madness that I'm doing to it, it should, it's saying, it is screaming bloody murder and saying, why are you doing this to me?
Give me just a second here. I got something very important.
Getting glacial damage.
Or
I am in a very bad place. And I concur with. This is a have issues with the action. 100% base. At least I can actually do. I should be able to do the clear without.
station of work now. You fucking kidding me? Yeah, I am signed up, you jackass. Alright, let me try to just reopen the website up again. I really hate how things fucking work when it's like, you need to log into your Prime. I'm in my fucking Prime. I'm in the fucking prime. Why is it not letting me?
I should do that.
Motherfucker. Dude, this is the stupidest thing ever. It says get a free monthly Prime with your Twitch Prime. Sign up. I am signed up, motherfucker. I'm in that damn thing.
Hey, how it works.
It's like, hey, you want to do this? It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. No, fuck you.
I hear cowering prey. Face me, coward! With me!
Okay, let's try to open Twitch again.
Or nothing!
Like, it literally says that I have free stuff, but it won't let me fucking use shit. Like, think about how amazing that fucking is, right? So you get a free sub, and it's like,
Together!
you can use this stuff. God damn it!
Is that all?
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
The fight is on!
Epic shot. More passion.
Wow, this is just absolutely stupid.
Why?
All I want to do is fucking use my Twitch sub, and it won't let me. It's like I go in. Okay, so I'm logged in my Twitch Prime account, and then when I click onto an account to sub, it just says it doesn't give me the option to sub with my Twitch. It says get a free monthly with Twitch Prime subs, and I'm like, I'm logged in. I don't know. Maybe I gotta fucking wait so hell freezes over for the fucker thing to let me finally say it's gonna let me use it.
It has to wait for the time.
Okay,
Crosscut. Sever!
Victory's mine. Listen carefully.
I smell fear.
Alright, well, whatever. I'll fucking try to do it later. Since things sign up. I can literally go to the game section. Like, I'm in the game section. I can access my games. But I can't give you a sub.
That's fine.
Fuck this god damn internet stuff.
In my previous match,
Oh,
I
fuck,
slipped
stuff
and
in
left
this
an
fucking
opening.
room. This is not
My
a duck room.
opponent
We ain't doing no
failed to
goddamn duck
notice.
hunting.
He gradually lost his advantage.
Oh, that's fine.
And here, he
I know,
started
I know.
to
Fuck with him.
panic until...
He just goes there and likes to quack. Alright, let me get
Down with a single blow.
Oh, now he's doing. Now he's doing.
Last insult.
Hey, Demon, what's going on, man?
Let me see if I can get this running up. I'm gonna try to get everything set up correctly here.
Full attack. Now.
Here we go.
At the spear tip. Break
I
darkness.
should be live at this moment, but it's like Oh, that's right. I have to use only supports Chrome and Firefox. Do I have Google Chrome on here? I do. That's right. I have to use Google Chrome for this fucker to work.
Which one is that? It should be.
They stream together.
It's putting a lot of people.
It only works on Google Chrome and Firefox. Hopefully I'm logged into here. I don't have to log in again. Nope, I gotta log in. Let's log in. Alright, well, that's all saved. Where's my phone at? Give me my authenticator app.
You doing good, Snotty? You doing good, doing something? Okay.
Nope, not you. It needs Authy. Not Authy. I have 2 authenticator apps because they don't use the same one. Okay. Let me just see here. I would have actually let me use it now. No, it still won't let me use the damn thing. Alright.
They just don't like me.
I hit
So, yeah, it does
towering
not like
prey.
It does not like me at my end. It does not like me as
With me!
I am.
Glory is a punner!
Ooh, Permanent Souls is free? I might actually pick that up.
I'll end you!
Hell yeah, man. Permanent Souls? That's a good game I wanted to get, but I didn't want to buy it. It's October. It's a good time to look at that game. It's like a Resident Evil-ish game.
Ryan! At the spear tip!
Alright.
Break dog together revenge.
Let's see if Google Chrome actually. Okay. Oh, no. Your dashboard. Let's try this again. Stats.
Nothing right now.
Alright, now let's see. How do I... Let's see.
Because I have the I have each should be
I gotta invite you. I gotta invite you in, right?
you starting it or you want me to stop it?
We can't just stop it. I think we gotta invite you in. Let's see. Camera. Camera. Oh, yeah. What the fuck was that about? I'm not sure how the fuck. Okay, manage. Settings. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try to invite.
The moment at hand, this very moment, is the best of our lives.
I gotta look for your name and it gives me fucking Pirate Software. Fuck Pirate Software. He's an asshole. That's like the one thing everyone online can agree on right now.
I don't even know.
Pirate Software is an ass. You don't. Oh, dude, no, he's a fucking.
I don't even know.
He is now known. Well, he pretty much just really tried to fuck over somebody else who just wanted to start an initiative that would make gamers make companies actually have to make sure that their games are still playable even after they stop providing services for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fuck this shit. This shit sucks ass. Okay, we're just gonna do it normal. That's too much of a fucking headache. They need to make that shit work better. That should just be easy. Click.
It normally is. No, let me try.
Yeah, you try to invite me.
Because I used it once already before. I never really had to try to use it again after this.
Let me get to my channel. Let me go to my channel real quick. Because I'll probably hop on my channel. Let my ad breaks play anyways, so they can get that out of the way real quick. All my ads. Oh shit, I gotta change my fucking topic. It's not Sweet Home. This is the weirdest version of Sweet Home I've ever seen. Got home guys smart around.
Wow, I'm going to be I'm sitting one point. No. Okay. I'm gonna DM you some.
Okay. Alright. Let me just set this. Okay. I got all that done. Alright, feel free to try anytime you want.
Right, I sent you a DM.
Okay, let me try. We're gonna go to my creator chat. Here that. I don't see where it's at.
In Discord.
Oh, in Discord.
Yeah.
Discord.
Let's just send you straight to the link first. Should.
Alright. Are you fucking kidding me?
What up?
Well, even it opened automatically in the better of browsers. So let me try again. Copy text. Okay,
I hit cowering prey. With me!
All right. Ah!
Oh, wow, that's. You have to mute it.
I did.
It and mute it anyway. Oh,
Okay.
There you are.
Let me see. Now, how is this working on my actual stream, though?
It should give you.
Okay, so since we got shared. Okay, so the shared chat's up. Okay, so our shared chat is up. Okay, so I can see you on my. Okay, so I'll see anyone who messages you on mine.
Yeah.
That works well. Okay. And then pretty much it's just gonna be. Okay, I think this is fine because you can hear me, right?
Yeah. The thing is,
Let me check volume.
no, well, the thing about it is that where I'm using you through Discord, I'm not using you through the together. So everything runs through Shima's. It's just that I'm not using the web browser.
I just want to make sure that
like
everything's
full
fine.
strip together. So you can just use this to just strip together, but we still stay Discord properly without a problem.
Yeah, I think that works well. All right, okay, we're good. I just have to remember to open this up in freaking Google Chrome every time. So, all right. Well, we're good to go. We got everything started. So, all right, how have things been going for you? They finally got things up and running, right?
What can I say? It has been a pretty hectic past 2 weeks. Enough things have happened that I felt to just pick me up just by my stream. I just passed out. I have literally been trying to stream. I've been telling myself I have to get on the stream, but then I have so many videos that I want to make at the same time. And I know my laptop can only handle doing so much at once. So I really try not to excuse me, also do too much, and then also for some reason I have a sinus that refuses to be. Oh, it was only on one nostril, and then all of a sudden, no, it just went out the board.
I'll end you!
That just makes it unbelievable. I was like, at least I can breathe through one of my nostrils. They said, oh, you think you can breathe through one of your nostrils? Oh, let's change that, shall we? Right at that moment, it's switched and just clogged up both up. Really? Seriously? I can't actually sit and breathe through my nose. If I try to breathe through my nose, I suffocate. I have to breathe through my mouth until this thing happens.
Dude, I hate when that happens. I hate breathing problem.
How have things been on your side?
I hear cowering
I mean-
prey.
Let's see, and it's been pretty rough actually. Let's see, my mother-in-law ended up going to the hospital. I got home.
Oh,
Just for my son to ride up and tell me there's an ambulance. And then I had to answer medical questions in Japanese. Let me tell you something, man. You never want to have to answer medical questions in a language you don't speak fluently. Alright? That's not fun. That's not
oh, I doubt that.
Then my wife arrived, and then she's had a cold for I think like 3 to 4 weeks, and I keep trying to get her to go to the doctors because if any one of us had that, she'd make us go, but she refuses to go.
It's always the one who
Yeah.
she would send everybody else, but refuses so.
Yeah, it's driving me insane because I keep telling her just take a day off, you know, or just go, you know, go rest. It's like she coughs all night, and I can't, you know, hopefully she'll go today. But yeah. All right, yeah, I think we're going pretty good though. I mean, other than work, I'm looking forward to next year when I don't have to work in the mornings anymore.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But it's really, dude, it's funny. Like I told my my manager, I gave them notice
I
in
hear
May that they
cowering
would have
prey.
9 months to find a replacement, which I think is more than fair.
Mhm.
You know, 9 months is a long time, and my the boss hasn't really been looking for anybody, and it's just like trying to find a way to get me to stay. And I'm, you know, I've already explained to my boss, I mean to my manager, that I wouldn't be reliable, and I don't want to put that, you know, I don't want to sign a contract if I can't fulfill it, right? Like,
Mine's
Oh, yeah.
because my mom was, she's getting really old, and like I said, I got home at 7 p.m. for an ambulance to be in her house, which meant there was just her and my 2 kids, you know, and
That's not
that's a
good.
big issue. Yeah, so I have to be home now. And I mean, on top of that, like,
together we vanish.
Asian cultures have a really bad habit of setting this super
Who's
safe, right?
the
Like,
caged
everyone
bird
thinks
now?
Japan is crazy safe. But, we get emails regularly with, like, really strange people. There's a guy who came to my house asking to play with my 6-year-old son. The guy's, like, in his 20s.
What?
And, I thought, and the scariest thing is he brought these 2 other kids with him. I thought maybe he was their older brother at first, but they're Chinese, he's Japanese, and no, they're not related. So like, he literally kidnapped these kids, and nobody seemed to give a shit but me. I'm just like, he kidnapped those kids. The fuck is going on here? That's good. So like, you know, I mean, like I'm dealing with like, and then like I had another one of the students I know at my part-time job. Like, she almost got kidnapped 3 days ago. Like, the guy grabbed her arm and she just yelled at him, though. And which was good because Japanese people aren't used to that. So, no, shit's getting pretty, like, shit's not as safe as people think it is. You know, I think these 3 murders have happened the last year where I work. Not at my company, but in that area. Like, so I'm just like, you know, I need to be home, you know. So, trying to explain to my company, you know.
Epic shot.
My manager agrees, but like my boss is just like trying to find a way to get me to stay. It's like, dude, I'm not signing a contract. I won't be reliable, man. That's the last thing you want is someone who cannot agree to be there when you need to be there.
Something
So,
that
yeah.
happened, and then they're like, yo, we need to be
Yeah, I would be calling in like last minute, and I just told, you know, my manager, because she just dealt with that with the person. So I had quit before. The person they replaced me pretty much did that. He just called it, oh, I have a headache. Oh, I have a stomach ache all the time. So they would call me to come sub, right? I think I subbed almost 2 weeks each year, which is a lot to actually sub. I mean, 2 weeks is a lot. So, oh, damn, wrong piece. I was really excited, but then it's the wrong piece. So, a second. So yeah, like I told her, I don't want to do that to her again, and I couldn't, you know, really be reliable.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to not having to get. But to be perfectly honest, I also don't like getting up at 7:30 in the morning. Being able to focus on work in the evenings and afternoons is better. You know, then I get my mornings free to do to start streaming again, like I wanted to do. And I have my, you know, then I have my own school I run, right? Because I do run my own school.
Yes,
That's why so yeah. Alright, so I figured let's start with Genshin, man. Oh Genshin, my Genshin.
oh, a lovely Genshin. What kind of
For those who are tuning in, this is our first ever podcast, and we're going to be focusing on mostly gacha games. I would like to bring in some like other games, like anything like I discover that I really like, and I'm pretty sure Pirate, you'll do the same thing. Any games you like, we can discuss. So it's not just going to be limited to gacha games. We are going to try to avoid any form of personal drama. So I personally don't want to be picking fights with content creators, even though I disagree with most of them. But I am going to be talking about controversy that actually exists in games. It's in the games themselves. So I do think in-game controversy, such as the level 100 crap in Genshin, is fair play. Speaking of that, so what do you think of the level 100 situation in Genshin?
Honestly, it doesn't really affect me that bad because I only have one character that's a C6. So technically, I thought I was never really going to see. If I had to put it correctly, they could have brought up level 100 and I would have given a shit because I have no 5-star character that was C6. So it would have never even applied to me. The only reason why, in a sense, I actually know about it is because of the one C6 character, 5-star character that I have. And that's it.
I almost asked you which character you have at C6, and then I remembered.
if you, of all people, do not know which one.
Which one you got C6? I almost forgot. I'm thinking, what? Knowing him is probably Chi-Chi. I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, that's wait. I should know this one.
You should know this one. But yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
Most people, I could honestly say, the level 100 is going to pass a whole lot of people by, and they're not going to do it because not everybody has a C6 5-star. So it's really not going to affect them.
For me, the level 100, like, it just feels like the weirdest decision they could have made because it doesn't actually really impact the game that much. I mean, it doesn't. But it looks like it impacts the game more than it actually does. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't actually, between level 90 and level 100, there's not that much difference. The only characters that are really gonna like most of the characters that would actually even benefit from it, Mavuika would benefit from it because his reactions will. But Mavuika, if you have Mavuika and Sitlali, they don't even need it. They're already killing everything in like one shot, so you don't even need that. It's overkill. Now for Nahida, yeah, I could see it being good for Nahida, but I mean, it's just for me. I just look at it, I'm like, why would you do this? It's not going to impact the game, but it makes it look more pay to win. And people already argued, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never felt, to be honest, Genshin was pay to win. I think a lot of people confuse pay to win and gacha games, right? Like, a pay to win is when you have to pay the game just to beat the game, right? And let's be fair, Genshin is a lot more fun when you pay. All right, it is.
It is.
If anyone's like, if it's not, they're cool. But you don't need to pay to win the game because the game itself is beatable. Now that doesn't mean all content is beatable, right? In Genshin, you have the simulated universe and you have the abyss, and then of course you have the stupid theater one, which is just annoying altogether. But just because you technically need high units to do that, realistically, people, you can calculate the rewards versus the cost. It's not worth it. It's kind of like, for me, that's like an extra benefit for people who pay to play the game, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I do think if you pay money to the game, you should get a benefit from it. You're paying money, you're supporting the game. Why not? Why should you not get something better, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, but again, as long as the game can be played and beaten without spending a dime, I think it's fine, But this level 100,
technically, yeah, you will go through it without even any of the normal people will go through without ever having to see it happening. After them, it's just
Together we
game still runs as normal.
I mean, to be fair, I think people have become so spoiled. People become so spoiled on current gotcha games and mobile games. Because let's be fair, there was no gotcha game back in the past. These were just called mobile games, right?
Now that's a
And you know, people have been spoiled at what mobile games used to be.
triumph through
Because if you go back, let's go back 50 years ago, right? Yeah, Candy Crush is a big thing. I think
Wait,
everybody
Crush
played
is
Candy
big.
Crush. You know, everybody played Candy Crush, right? And but the thing about Candy Crush, right? The thing about Candy Crush is that you got to a certain point in Candy Crush
together we
where you could not beat the game without spending money.
Let the flames
Yeah.
That is
That's holy players around so good.
right? And you know that you have that game, you have all the old Final Fantasy games. There's a lot of games where just take a look at them, you're just like, wow, this is really? You know, and you kind of the problem, and that's a major problem, especially with turn-based RPGs, right? Because Genshin, let's be fair, Genshin is the first open world mobile game ever. You know, most mobile games were just like the cheapest version possible of turn-based RPG, or just my personal list.
Climax of the show!
It's like, why are you playing the game? Like, it's one thing to give you the ability to auto-clear something. It's another thing if that's the stupid game, you know? If the game is, you just sit here and watch and screen go, I mean, it's... What's the point of playing the game? You know, you're not even playing. And so, like, for me, like, I've always hated the auto ones, right? I always hated the auto ones. I thought those were stupid. So, I mean, if people, I really don't think it's fair to ever, when people call Genshin pay to win, because I have seen people call it that way. I think that's stupid. One of the dumbest things ever to call a game in nowadays. Because those games do exist, and we do need to call those games out when they exist. PvP games are 100%. You know, those are
those are paid away.
Yeah.
Games are basically played. Sadly, basically you have, because what game is this? This game has been going on for so freaking long. I'm trying to remember the one that has like the different armies fighting in the different areas. It used to be balanced in a sense where more ones could actually done it, but then when they introduced like new gear that you have to pay for, and that gear just in a sense just wrecks everybody else. And I'm just like, wow.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, you know, and to be fair, I mean, like, okay, you know, people call Genshin greedy. Okay, I have issues with Genshin Impact. I'm gonna be completely clear about that, right? I mean, I do think Genshin Impact has done a great job recently with, except for the level 100. Okay, we got like, but to be fair, again, level 100 I think more negatively impacts them than it does the players. Like, it really does. It more negatively impacts the creators of Genshin Impact than it does the actual players of Genshin Impact. Which is really funny when you think about it, you know. But you know, when you take that away, let's take away like the level 100. We minus that. Realistically, in the last 2 years since the Mavuika anniversary, the game really got better. Characters got better. Things look better. It really feels more. I'm going to be perfectly honest, and people may disagree with me on this. It does feel more like it's going down the path of Impact Third, where it was just honestly awful, and they finally got rid of this. Funny enough, the same guy, and now you got a game that is actually playable. You know.
The ironic
Like,
thing is that it's the same guy.
Yeah, the same guy. Yeah.
That's the ironic thing. It's the same guy that screwed up on them. Is the same one that was running Genshin Impact. How do you not see this man run a game into the ground?
Well, he was the CEO. He was one of the main guys behind it, though, right? So, like, what are they going to say?
Goodness, though. But you could see this man has run one in, and then he's going to be given another one to then run into the ground. get.
I mean, yeah, like I think everybody sees that, but like at the same time, when he's your boss, what do you say, right? That's the problem, right? I mean, like, and even he was even above Dawe, which everyone knows Dawe is like he's the boss, man. He's the shit. Like
But there's a guy who's
every time
actually ahead of.
he is actually in tune with what the games are like. And you know what? I really love getting to see him at every single games stream now. I love, you know, when he shows up, it just feels so great to see the guy. You're like, yeah, I like this guy. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I have more faith in Genshin Impact now that they've kind of rechanged the director. And if you look at, I mean, there's a lot of things like we were talking about before, right? If we take a look at like a lot of aspects of the game, like first of all, if we take a look at the way the story has gone, right? The story since Mabuika's stage has really been more focused on completing the fucking story. You know, we're not sitting there reading stupid ass things again. We're actually going through the story, and it feels like we're actually making progress, which I like, because the big issue with Genshin for the longest time is
Story got stale.
it never felt like we were making progress. It's like, okay, well, yeah, where's my progress at? Like when am I going to see something important happen? Like I'm seeing the same things over and over again. I mean, I want to.
Sorry about it, but if I remember, I think this is when we were in when they just gave us the whole rap quest with Dave, because everybody knows once Dave shows up, shit's about to go. He shows up. We went on this wild quest for some strange reason, and then after he just disappears again. I'm like, this is us. You're just only teasing people, though.
Well, and I mean, if you take a look at Impact Third, it kind of followed the same thing, right? When you look at the time where the other guy was in charge, the story moves really slowly. Like, it takes up to chapter 10 to even get to the point where you have like the things actually go on, right? And if you take a look at, okay, like I said, you know, like I said before, like I really do feel like the Sumeru story is a really good story, right? I do think it's a good story. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I think a lot of people kind of exaggerate how bad it is, because, you know, and this is kind of an issue I've seen, right? One person bitches, and then everybody, you know, oh yeah, that's right, and nobody actually gets an opinion of their own. Like, that's an issue with the internet I've noticed is most people don't have an opinion anymore. They just listen to somebody else. And dude, I have so many friends, hell, my kid does it, who come in is like, oh well, I saw this happening, and I'm like, wait, what? And it's just one idiot said something, and it's like, you know, there's nothing verified here. This is just one person, and everyone's just jumping on board. You know,
the moon is full.
And with Sumeru, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Sumeru does have a slow burn,
Entertain me.
but it's not that slow. People make it like it's, you know, 48 hours of nothing, and you're like, really? I mean, like, you really think it's not that bad? You can burn through it in about 2 or 3 hours. That's not that long.
It's
like,
just,
you didn't think about it.
I feel like it just
even. Yes, but the question comes down to, in the end, is it worth the reward? Now, if it was 2 or 3 hours, yeah, if it was 2 or 3 hours, and like in the end you were like, you know, it was like Inazuma. Oh yeah. I'd be like, dude, fuck up this. What is this shit? You know. Sorry, but
what was it about?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's nearly that bad. I think it rewards you very well. It's very emotional.
No, the thing about it is, when you're dealing with innocence, like if you look at it from the part 1 that they did, part 1 left you feeling unsatisfied. They did satisfy you with part 2. Part 2 tend to put a little bit more, how to put it, not necessarily give it a little bit more substance, that you're like, okay, this now kind of makes sense.
The only thing, though, for me is that they did the stupid bait. They did a stupid bait and switch with Raiden, which I hated. Like, they knew what they were doing when they made it look like it was Raiden May, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, nope, it's not. It's Raiden A. I'm like, oh, fuck off. Like, I mean, for me, I'll never forgive them because they took one of the best characters in Impact 3rd and completely butchered the character.
Yeah, she
You know.
kind of dumb. Then it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and the problem is you get to a point in the game, right? You get to a point where you can't, once you've destroyed a character, it's really, really difficult to fix that destruction, right? It's like you've destroyed this character.
Character was destroyed on release. When she gave up the stone, she was destroyed.
Yeah, it's like, how am I supposed to like this character? Like, you've destroyed her. I don't actually care about this character now. Like, and that always pissed me off because that's one of my favorite characters in the story. I mean, like, one of the first things that I saw before starting to play on Impact 3rd that really got me into the game was the scene between her and May, where her and Keanu, where they're fighting.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, dude, this is what the hell's going on here, right? I had no idea what the hell's going on. And then I go and I play the game and I'm like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, now I understand it. So like, I'm excited. I'm like, oh my god, they're bringing Raiden into the game. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so awesome. Everyone's gonna love this character because, I mean, come on, like, who doesn't like Raiden?
If they did it on Vampire
And then
it would have been right.
her.
Exactly.
And for me, I will never forgive that crime. That was a crime. I love that girl, and it's like so sad.
I mean,
so, but I mean, what the thing is I'm making, right, though, is Samara and Fontaine were good, but they still never actually moved us into the direction of the main storyline. They still were side stories, if you think about it, right?
but
we don't
good world building though.
They built the world of Samara, right, and the world of Fontaine,
Oh,
but they never ever gave us any closer to actually fulfilling the main storyline. Think about that, right? We never got any closer to the main storyline being finished. We still were in the exact same area. If you think about it, like, if we play the game, and you go about the game, by the time you get to Fontaine and finish Fontaine, you are still at the exact same spot in the main storyline that you were in the very beginning of the game. We've come no closer to anything. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea why she's pissed at us. Nothing has been solved, right? We're still the same questions. At least I still had the same questions. Sorry. From the beginning of the game that I did at this point. Now, if you take a look at Natlan, though, when we get on Natlan, all of a sudden, we're getting a lot more questions answered. Now, I will say the end of Fontaine did start to answer questions, but again, that's where we have the shift in the need, right? Because in the end of Fontaine, you know, that's when we were really dealing with Arcolino, right? And that's when we start to get introduced to the those who are the Fatui who are not just the evil Fatui, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, right, we start to see actual connections to what's really going on. So I mean, I do think like that is where we start to do really well and see what we got there, right? But I do think that until we get to Fontaine, holy crap! You lose all three. That's okay. I can lose those three. But I do think that until we get to Fontaine, I mean, until we get to that point, right? There is no progress, really. There really is no progress. We're sitting there, still the same area we were before, and then we start to get it. Natlan, have you completed the Natlan storyline yet?
No.
So, you know, all of a sudden we get a lot of answers. Like a ton of questions are being answered all of a sudden. Like, what's going on with this situation? What's going on with that situation? Like, all of a sudden, we know what's going on in Natlan. It's like, it's there. It's like, okay, well, we now know that she's been fighting, that, you know, they're actually trying to fight the Night Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and that our sister has been actually taking place in the night, fighting the Night Kingdom. and that we're starting to realize some things that we didn't know before, right? And that there are Fatui that have been trying to fight the Night Kingdom as well. Like they're like, this is something that they've been trying to fight against for the good of people. I mean, and you get there and you're like, oh, this is actually really good. I'm happy to see this. So I just feel like recently, right, we've gotten much closer to actually fulfilling the story, which I would rather complete the story and then just have no story after, right? Just have them at that point in time just release side stories and whatnot. Do all the side stories, I don't care at that point. But finish the main story and then release all the side stories for people who want to do the little side story bullshit. So I do feel it's gotten better since then.
Okay, that's understandable. That's fine. That's a perfectly normal thing that happened. I would say, well, story-wise, in Forgettion, it has, I think, what killed it in a sense is that the story, when it hits Smear, the main story itself did not advance as it should in Sumeru and everything. The amount of stuff that you did in Sumeru, the main story itself did not advance. You had a whole patch that was just like a whole side area altogether, which was a whole map on itself that had nothing to do with the main story quest. And then it's just like, how do you get back in after that? And for me, it's like, you have taken out an entire new area that has nothing to do with the main story. Even if you go there, nothing with the main story is. And you have spent so much time in this area, it's like, come on. What is happening? And then when you come into that land for the story after that, and then you see that the pace of the story then begins to pick up, and then you realize that it's not only picking up the track. It seems to me that they tried not really to speed run, but really try to get. They realized that they forgot to put in some main story quests in between the other patches, so they just started to push out that main story to go out as fast as possible to try to catch up to where they wanted it to be. And it's just like, are you catching up the story because you want the story to progress, or is it that you're now pushing the story in order to catch up to the areas where you want to send the players to then have them pull for characters there? Which is why once we hit Nathan, you realize that there was that whole debacle with the land exploration. And then you had all the things that Volvico with a bike and everything. It's like, I love her. She has a bike. I'm happy with it. I don't care. But I know some people would say that, why is it that she didn't have a bike? And she had a bike. Then they had her riding a bike and whatnot. Even though they try to explain it within the game itself, sometimes the plot fillers that they do for the plot holes in the game itself sometimes does not make sense itself. So for me, I got back into Getcha to not right. I really had to speed run the ending of Natman. Was it the ending of Natman or just the one? No, the quest in Mondstadt, the starting go to Natman. Because just speed through it just to get to Natman. Not to Natman, to Nordcry, sorry. And I'm going to see where Nordcry is going to be. Because so far, I think what I have to do, I have to give the story a chance and actually sit and read. Because I realize what I'm doing now, I'm just speed running through it. I'm not reading anything to actually get the taste of the lore of the story of exactly what's really happening. I'm just running through, just passing through all the talk just to get to the next thing. And I realize is that I'm becoming what I always said that people should not be, which is basically just speedrunners of story. If it is you don't understand the whole story, to you would always be left out. Something is always missing, and you won't have that sense of attachment, sorry, to the game, story-wise, if you don't understand the story behind. But say yes, some people play a game not just of the story. But the thing about it is, if you are playing this game, the game itself has a story to it. So no matter what you're going to be doing the story. Because part of the story is to advance to the next areas, the next nations, the game. So again, so you still have to advance straight through. So you still have to have that sense of what is the shape of everything they're towards it with. And then you see that's why they have like some bite-sized things and they left out some places. They have some things they want to add to CG. So it's, but my final thoughts on that one, the story is getting somewhere. The art, I would agree, it did take the Honkai Battle route. And it says there was that stagnation for a while, and then after just started picking one going. I'm hoping good that they can pick up and that the show can. Sorry, excuse me. That the not even the show, but the main story quest carries us further into the depths of the land, and we get to see exactly what caused the heavenly principles to destroy Kami. What did Kami do to cause itself to be the target of the seven heavenly deadly principles? What are the things in play that can cause something like that to happen again? Even though they show that they themselves are the ones making blocks and whatnot. But then you realize that just leaving it around. So my thing is just like, well, if you just happen to be around and collect all 6. Oh, GG.
I mean, when
they got Infinity Stones.
You know, when it comes to the story in Genshin, right? There was an ongoing joke, right? That like we got a new story quest every year, right? It's
Yeah.
like, so I mean, I don't blame people for like at this point not being interested. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, like we gotta also remember that Impact 3rd, he only had control of it for a couple, like for about a year or two. Genshin, he was in control for like 4 years. So it was like 4 years of just the same bullshit over and over again. As for the whole thing with Mavuik and the bike, okay? You know, I remember seeing that crap. And all I gotta say to these people is that, have you ever seen a nation that runs around with gliders? It's a fantasy game. You don't need logic in fantasy. Fantasy is fantasy. And I'm gonna be honest. I really hate when people try to put logic into a fantasy game. It's like, they're literally doing magic. Like, come on. Do you not watch all what's going on in the, like, it's, dragons don't exist. You don't have to have logic. For me, it's like, you don't need logic in a fantasy game. It's fantasy. I mean, it's what it's, as long as it's in the world when you come into the world. And people got to remember, in Natlan, right? It's in the world when you go into the world. You don't go into Natlan and it's in the Dark Ages and all of a sudden, it's advanced overnight. No, it's you go there and it is how it is when you go. And I do think people who are trying to find logic in it are just doing a disservice in general, because you're trying to find logic in a fantasy game. That doesn't exist in fantasy.
Then that's kind of like justifying why these French people just left me, because they have elevators, they have water taxis, they have everything completely different from everybody else. Fontaine. So
yeah, but
why would you not say, oh, how did you just get all of this just like that?
Well, and if you look at Fontaine though, like Fontaine, they breathe underwater.
Yeah, because they're not human. Because they're not human.
Yeah, but like if you think that, like if a person thinks that having a motorcycle is more realistic than breathing underwater, You know, I then have to, like, it just feels like, okay, so here's the issue. Not Genshin the game. Genshin players are usually, and again, this isn't to all players, right? I'm not like saying all players are like this. No, right? Now, obviously, it depends on the player, right? But this is a problem, a constant problem we've seen in the players itself. They're either, they're either 100% going to support Genshin to the grave, even when Genshin does something really bad, like 3 wishes, or they're going to complain about every little thing, right? Like, Mavuika's skin tone. Oh my goodness, why is she so white? It's Asia, man. Like,
yeah, I never subscribed about it. I was like, that was when I was just people are complaining about it. This is what
yeah, I mean, so for me, I feel people are going to complain just to complain. And I think that if you complain just to complain,
Judgment
then,
strikes!
you know, your opinion's invalid at that point because you're not actually, you know, finding a reason to complain. You're just wanting to be the person saying, well, this doesn't make sense, so I don't like it. And so, like, with the freaking bike, who cares? It's a fantasy game.
it's a nice
And to
bike.
be perfectly honest, it's awesome. I love that bike. I see Sixter for the bike. That's literally why I see Sixter, so I can ride that goddamn bicycle anywhere I want to go. I mean, like,
Is that all?
let me ask you, I mean, like, okay, let's do a little quick comparison, right? Genshin versus Wuthering Waves Exploration, right? Without that freaking bike, exploration sucks. And Wuthering Waves, you don't need that bike, because Wuthering Waves has the gliding ability, which allows you to get from point A to point B much faster now. You know, and that's the issue, right? When I just go back into Genshin from Wuthering Waves, I'm just like,
Listen carefully.
man, I miss my gliding. Like, it just takes so long to explore. Mavuika makes that so much more manageable. Like, and that bike makes that manageable. I'm like, I mean, again, if it was, you go to Natlin, and they're in the Dark Ages, and then you wake up, and now they have all this stuff for no reason, yeah, that would make sense. But they also explain it. I mean, they do explain Natlin's technology. You know, Mavuika's sister's a genius, and she invented all of it after her sister's sacrifice, kind of as a form to prepare for her sister's coming back. Like, everything in Natlin is due to Mavuika's sister. It is explained. It's just not, you know, we just don't live through it. And again, I mean, like, I feel like it's just, again, one of those situations where it's like, I want to complain so that I can complain and pretend like this sucks because that's what's hit. You know? Story mode? Yeah, story mode. Fair point. Story mode. I mean, I agree. They took so long in the story that if you're not interested, that's fine. But when you want logic in a fantasy game, because I've seen, you know, I see the same thing happen in Final Fantasy 14, where it's like, something happens and they want a logical reason for it. It's like, why the hell do you care? It's a game. We play a game to escape logic. If you want logic, go to work. You know? Like, work, you have to have logic. In a game, you don't. Like, I'm playing Star Rail right now, right, man? I don't want to have logic behind Castor summoning out a goddamn dragon. I want to summon a goddamn dragon.
She slashes
That's
time
fun.
and space and brings forth
Yeah.
the dragon.
You know, and so people who are looking for logic, for me, for people who are looking at logic in games, just don't understand the point of a game. That's like reading a fantasy book and being like, okay, Lord of the Rings, right? And being like, so long. I've got to read the 50 other books J.R.R. Tolkien wrote so that I have logic behind this. Because unless you read the other 50 books he wrote, you don't know why the elves live so long. You know? You don't know the history of the elves. You don't know what's up with them. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit never explain why the elves live so long. You have to read the Silmarillion, which is... I'm not going to do that, you know? Oh, thank you. So, I mean, I don't feel like this is even a Genshin problem. I think this is a problem in general with people who just... Okay, because, like, think back. You and I, we both grew up playing Mario and Nintendo, right?
That's
Nobody's looking for logic. No one's looking for logic when they play Mario. We're not like, you know, What's the logic behind a fat plumber going up and down pipes and jumping over a giant lizard? No one,
Nobody knows that.
no one's ever done that before. This, I just think, okay, this is actually a good example. It's gonna be kind of a tangent. It kind of just speaks to the how entitled players have become. Because I do agree that players have become entitled. I do think that term is used way too often when players have a legit complaint about something, right? Like, if a company just completely screws up their player base, I don't think it's entitled at that point. I think they have a legit complaint. But there is also truth to the entitlement behavior where players, everything has to be written perfectly and make perfect logical sense. And for me,
wicked soul, such is their blessing.
I wouldn't actually enjoy that in a game.
You won't.
I would not enjoy a game where everything has to make logic. I would be done with it. Because it's too much thinking.
You won't escape.
So,
The impure.
yeah, I do feel if you're complaining about logic in a fantasy game, you as a player, not you as a new player,
Repent.
I think that you need to kind of restudy what a game is about. Because no video game has logic. And this includes your realistic games like Call of Duty. You know like Call of Duty? Do you realize how not realistic Call of Duty is? If you... I will say this, right? If you've ever been in the military, like I have, I was in the military when I was younger, right? Call of Duty is not what the military is. If Call of Duty, and I want to use Call of Duty because people might think it's like most realistic, right? But if Call of Duty played like the real military plays, right? That would be the most boring game ever.
Rise and crash.
That game would not be fun.
Furious tides.
That game would be boring as
The
hell.
heavens.
Because we're talking about like the amount of work it takes to do that stuff and not die is not fun. It's so I do think it's even if you take a look at like Call of Duty, right? That game is so fantasy, it's not even funny.
Call of Duty went from being so bad, it's real to then becoming so much of a fantasy to say. Nothing in Call of Duty.
Like I'm not like I'm not getting into Call of Duty too much. I'm just gonna say because it gets a lot of shit as it is. I'm just gonna say. Even when you take a look at them, I just use Dix as like the most realistic, right? And even that, it is so fake. It's not even funny. No game is real. No game is actually real. They're all freaking illogical games. When you look at them. It should be like in real life. All right. Enough about games. What's your favorite gacha game out there so far?
Purge the impure.
Odds up, I don't know.
Such is their blessing.
Wind calls, waves follow.
So do you want to talk about what they were? Do you want to go into Onko's Honkai Star Rail? What do you want to go into?
Well, either one. Down by Lamen, we're going to first, right?
Oh, that son of a bitch. Alright, so,
Waves rise.
let's go to Wielding Waves first, and then we'll finish
Strikes.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
So which of the new characters you plan to go for? Because we know you can only go for one. What do you need to go for?
Scout
Hero,
Brainer.
Hunter, or
Scout Brainer.
Samurai?
I'm going to Scout Brainer.
Now
That's the
presenting
Hunter, right?
poem
Yep.
of finale.
Dude, I am straight up going for the, I'm going for my swordsman, man. That guy looks so cool. He looks like the general on steroids, right? Like, the guy's got, like, buff. I'm right next to Pity, but I still got him in the 50-50. But, I'm right there, so I was originally, like I said before, gonna go for a dupe of Yuno, but I decided not to because I felt like, I got a lot coming in these next 2 days. We got 2 Alicias coming, right?
It's a lot.
And then,
it's a lot of time.
Then we have those 2 coming. I'm just like, yeah, it's too much. I can't pay for everything, so I have to be more picky this time.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I hate about gacha games, man. They make it hard to pick sometimes. They're like, oh, what do I pick? I hate when gacha games all release hype releases at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's a pain in the ass. I can't budget myself. It's too much. There you go.
Epic shot.
If you're looking for him, I do like I will say, the Weathering Waves, I think, has been much better at their story, keeping their story regularly written. Like with Genshin, I do feel like they had the beginning, but they didn't have the end. Right? They had the beginning, but they didn't have the end. And so, like, they do the first part and then they stop. Weathering Waves, I feel like, knew what they wanted to do from the beginning. They had taken the time to plan the whole game. They knew what they had to go against because to be fair. And this is, we gotta give this, like, Weathering Waves had an advantage because they knew they had to compete with Genshin, so they had to do everything right, you know?
Yeah.
They could not half-ass it, or else they were gonna end up like Tower Fantasy. Which still pisses me off, because Tower Fantasy could have been such a good game. Such a good game when they fucked it. So I do think that they do storyline. I also like. I think exploration was better too. Like I said, I love the gliding ability. I know you have some issues with the gliding ability, so I'll let you bring that up right now.
Yeah.
So, but I figure you're the big Weathering Waves player, so I'm gonna kind of just let you do more of the talking this time.
Well, the thing is, it's been such a. Where do we look? It's had so much happen. Yeah, I did terrible. So as you can see, I'm doing Weathering Waves at the same time I will do this podcast, and you can tell I am just sucking at it. Because I'm thinking about giving my attention to what Sega said. Weathering Waves has brought itself to a point right now where the story is going good. We have reached the finale of second area, which we have Judy. We have spent the majority of one entire patch run in this area. And it's not to say it has not had its ups. It had its ups and downs. But if we kind of, in a sense, try to make a little balance, to try to have something for everybody, which I'm happy for. But then you start having when the controversies start coming up within the last little chapters, exactly when you have like different character stories. You had the community actually going up against. I should actually see them going up against each other, but it makes sense. Making the two factions, they had Team Follow and then you had Team Proof, and then that caused the entire thing on. I did one interview with one law master, and we're talking about it, and you can realize from the sense of it is that a lot of people who are never really paid attention to the who's the story that was told, and then you realize that it was because of the interactions within this story, it then affected his interactions and what he chose to do in later parts of the story. So you have to understand exactly how all, and then people say, oh, it's something, so you should have to go through all of that. But in a sense, if you don't see how a character is being built at the same time, that character building, how you let them just see him, it's just a spooky character, just gets it instant. But we've had, I can just stick with the more current ones that's going on there right now. We have where everybody's going that there's no combat event. Yes, there's no combat event, we'll see. But I'm guessing the reason why there haven't been a combat event is because, and this is my personal opinion, they put out so many events beforehand that not everyone, I'm guessing like they would stop an event if they know that a certain percentage of players have played it. And there was a time when I think it was UPS or one thing. Yes, yeah, UPS sent packages directly to you, and that's not what. Well, some people used to get this stuff in weird ways. That's stupid. But other than that, you have, how to put it? The simplest way just to put it is just that they have all these events from beforehand. They can see that not much people have played the past events, so they're giving enough time to play the past events, plus do story, plus get extra things on. But you have those who have the 0.1%, the 0.1%. You have everything. You see 6 characters, these are 5 weapons. You have everything that the character needs. But the thing about it is that you can always improve. There's always something that you can do. But most people have bills that they just save with one time. Sorry about
Let's be clear about something, right? When it comes to like people, because I want to mention something. Talked about the 1% that literally max out everything, right?
Yes.
So let's be honest about something, man. Like this goes for all gacha games, all right? This is something that if you're into a gacha game, I highly advise you never do, because this is just a bad thing to do. But when you go into a gacha game and decide that you're just going to try to max everything out, you literally do a disservice to yourself, because there is nothing you can do in that game anymore. You literally have ruined any form of progress in that game because you wanted to try to prove how good you were, right? And in all honesty, like there with gacha games, okay, there is an essence of skill that does go into some of the gacha games, right? Like when you're coming into, for example, Star Rail or Weathering Waves or any of these games, there is a certain amount of ability you have to have in these games, right? You do have to know what you are doing, and if you don't know what you are doing, you're going to get completely destroyed. Like you know, if you're building a team, for example, with if you're building a team with, say, with Evernight and Finon, your team's going to completely get destroyed because that team's not a team you want to run. But a lot of people seem to forget that, you know, most of a gacha game is not about skill, but about how much you spend. So if you spend a lot of money and all of a sudden you're destroying everybody in a gacha game, or you're destroying all the content in a gacha game, all you've done is remove what would have made that game fun for you. You know, what you've done. Now the game is no longer fun, and there's no reason for you to even play the game anymore. Like, why play the game at that point? Just, you may as well put in a different game, because the game is no longer a game that you can succeed in and enjoy. Now it's a game where you have pretty much made everything about how much money you can spend. And for me, it's just more detrimental to a player to do that than it is, you know, I'm like that's worse than free to play. Like, free to play is bad because not bad, but it's bad because you are limited on things you can do because you're free to play, right? You know, which does limit yourself as a free to play player. Where, like, you get to, there's content where you're just like, I want to do this, but I can't do this because I'm free to play and I don't have the units for it, right? I'm sure you've come across that millions of times as a free to play player. Always. You know? But what's worse than content you can't do because you don't have the current units? Content you have, when you can't do any content because you've cleared everything and there's nothing to grow on because you spent that much money. I mean, now you literally paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to not play a game. All because you wanted to prove how good you were, but it had nothing to do with skill. You just paid a lot of money. That's not skill. That's not even a sign of wealth. That's a sign of irresponsibility.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, if you have $1 million and you spend $10,000 on a freaking gacha game, that doesn't show you're rich. That shows you're stupid. You know? And I will be perfectly honest. I have made that mistake in Dragon Ball Legends where I spent a lot of money trying to get a stupid character in Dragon Ball Legends. That wasn't a sign of how rich I was. That was a sign of how stupid I was. You know? And thank God I never hit the $10,000 mark or the $100,000 mark. There was a guy who spent $100,000 in Diablo Immortal. You know, so, like, if you're spending that much money in a gacha game, all you've done is you're not showing how, you know, how big your dick is, right? All you're doing is showing how irresponsible you are and why you should never play a gacha game. You know, and it's important to realize that. As for the, you know, and again, I think, you know, let me think. Give me a second. You know, a big mistake that Wuthering Waves made, right? I mean, not with the Tower of Fantasy made. And this is what you're kind of going to what you're saying here, right? Wuthering Waves made the big mistake of releasing too much content too soon. And what occurred of that was that players got burnt out. There was just too much to do. And when, you know, you have when the amount to do is more than you have time to do, it just makes you feel trapped and like you cannot do, you're just constantly going uphill, right? Because everybody's goal in the end is to complete all the content, right? That's your goal. And so I think that it's really important to balance the amount of content you have versus the time of your plays. And I think Wuthering Waves, what they're doing is a good way. You need to make sure that your player's time is respected. And if you are not respecting your player's time, well, that's just not good for your game at all. So I do think that they've done pretty well. Like, I think on that aspect, it's really good, you know? As for the story, I mean, I think the story's going fine. I mean, I enjoy the story. I mean, I do skip a lot of the cutscenes that I just don't feel are that important. I do like in Wuthering Waves, by the way. When you skip a story, it gives you a little bit of a synopsis, right? Just like Star Rail does, right? This is not good. This is not good at all. All right, we're gonna exit this. I got completely screwed over in that round. They stunned my main guy. What a bunch of assholes. Sorry, I'm doing I'm doing Star Rail, and they stunned Adventuring, so he couldn't shield them. He got stunned right in the beginning. What kind of crap is that? Okay. What's your favorite aspect of Wuthering Waves? Pirate. Pirate. Hope you didn't go AFK or fall asleep on this. Let me see, is my shit still working? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm gonna go to his machine. Testing. Can you hear me, Pirate? I don't know. Maybe he went AFK. Let's check his stream. See if he fell asleep on us. I'm gonna laugh if he fell asleep during stream. During doing a podcast. That'd be hilarious. Let's just check his stream. Dude, no way he fell asleep. No way he fell asleep. Did he actually fall asleep, man? That'd be hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna go just chill here while we wait for him to come back or wake up or whatever happened there. Where's Blessing over? Oh yeah, we gotta overrate these ones. I don't need that one. Yeah, this game does not want to give me the Blessing ID, does it? Holy crap, man. How is it so bad? Wait, do I have 3? Okay, let's say we have 2 of those. Yeah, I could use the freak. Come on, give me that one. Okay, well, we don't need that one's fine. We don't need that one. Okay, you know what? I mean, honestly, we don't need. We need one more of these. Okay. Actually, no, we want that one. That's a good one. Okay, let's go ahead and do. Okay, I guess we're fine. We don't don't really restore. So if we can actually get a better one of these, that'd be better. That works. I do not know if he fell asleep or not, so we're gonna wait and see. I'm gonna laugh if he fell asleep. Grab you, and then we want to definitely grab 15% damage protection. Because yeah, we're needing that. Are you back? Where does Mike get hit? Dude, did he fall asleep in the middle of a pulp? Hello? Oh, that's actually good. That's a perfect boost. Alright. Equations. Are you buzzing? Yo, pirate! Dude, I think he fell asleep. That's hilarious. Like, I think he actually fell asleep, dude. Like, how the heck does that happen? This guy might actually have narcolepsy. Oops, this way. Go. Number 3. Four, 1, 5. Ooh, that was close. Number 6. I do think he fell asleep, actually. I think he fell asleep in his chair, man. Alright, well, I'm gonna go and keep on. If anyone joins in the podcast, he fell asleep. It's pretty funny, in my opinion. I think it's hilarious. He fell asleep. That's pretty funny. Alright, yeah, we can. Okay, so let's see. We want to pick day and night. There we go. Alright, respite. Do we have the dragon? Yeah, there we go. Let's take that one. Ooh, we do not have enough skill points, which sucks. Alright, grab you. And that's what we get. You up. These ones I don't really care about too much. Damage increase would be nice. You have a crit damage. Okay. Yo! Pirate!
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm just gonna...
I thought you fell asleep on me.
No, I tried to swallow and talk at the same time.
Oh, I'm like, I thought you were sleeping. Like, did you fall asleep on me?
No, I did not.
I'm like, holy cow! How did... You might need to be checked for narcolepsy.
I might have it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, man. Like, okay. I'd ask, I said, what's your favorite part of Weathering Waves? Because I got 2 questions for you about Weathering Waves.
My favorite part about it would be I love the combat. The combat was completely different from what I was accustomed to. And in a sense, you have, like, there are ways to fight. You can run into something like headfirst into it, or you can actually learn how things work within the combat system and use that to your advantage. You can't say that's all of the combat system, that's nice, and I love the story part. The story part is just so intriguing, so interesting because that you get a different kind of feeling from it.
I mean, for me, it's exploration. I feel like it's got really good exploration. Because as an open world game, for me, open world games, the #1 thing is exploration, and I think it does that so well by the fact that it actually gives you the ability to move around quickly. You know, even from the beginning, you can run off the wall. Right? You have to climb up and super slowly, which is always one of the most annoying aspects of games.
Taste my resolve.
It was just you don't want to spend 20 minutes climbing up the wall.
Praise
So
me.
the ability to run up the wall is really, really nice. I mean, I'll be honest, if exploration in Genshin was as good as it is in Wuthering Waves, I think Mabuika would be a lot less impactful. So I really love the, for me it's the exploration. Okay. So, is there anything else you want to say about Wuthering Waves, or should we jump into Star Rail?
We rush into the Star Rail then.
Bask in the sunlight.
Alright, so first things first, let's talk about the Star Rail controversy with the crisis errors and Alicia people complaining because they don't know what it is.
They don't know the kind of story behind it.
You know, I actually showed my wife yesterday the side-by-side comparisons of with you and the last cutscene we got where it shows Alicia. It's a literally cut by cut that looks which is great. I mean, it feels like people don't seem to realize what a callback is, you know? Because it's a callback, it's not a rip-off, it's a callback. You can't rip off your own game unless they did everything the same. How far through M4S have you gotten actually at this point? Because I want to avoid spoilers.
I don't think you could tell me anything going on.
Okay. So this is gonna be a heads up for anybody watching this stream or on YouTube. If you've not completed the Emporius storyline, there is gonna be a bit of spoilers here because I'm gonna talk about it. Until I know Pyro doesn't care because he's already done the storyline in Impact 3rd. So. So first, I gotta say, it is by far the best storyline that Star Rail's ever done. It is, I would say, actually better than the Flame Chasers in Impact 3rd. It's like they took the Flame Chaser storyline in Impact 3rd and thought, how do we make this better?
Because
and
really
that's what they did.
On it. They expanded on it in a way that didn't do any Flame Chasers.
I mean, they didn't just expand on it. They made us live through it, which is one thing we couldn't really do in Impact 3rd, right? Like,
well, because they were already dead.
Impact 3rd, they're already dead. You're meeting them after the event. You're not taking part in the event. And in Star Rail, it's like, yeah, you know, this time you're gonna take part in the event.
They're gonna be there for it.
Yeah. For me, obviously, I know you know this, but my favorite gacha game is Star Rail. I think Star Rail is by far the best. I think Star Rail is the best gacha game out there, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm a big turn-based RPG person. I know a lot of people find turn-based RPGs boring, but for me, Wuthering Waves is really good. But Star Rail is playable, is way more playable than Wuthering Waves is. Wuthering Waves, let's be fair, you have to have a console or a PC. You cannot play the game on your phone. That game is not fun on your phone, you know. And if you're playing the game on, say, console or PC, it's an amazing game, right? But for me with Wuthering Waves, the fact that I can play the game on my phone and it plays just fine, I love it to death for that reason because it means I actually can play the game anywhere I want. I can't do this with Wuthering Waves. I can't do it with Genshin. I can't do it with Impact 3. You know, I can only do it with Star Rail. And I mean, something, you know, when we talk about Wuthering Waves, right? Wuthering Waves, you still have Genshin, which is very similar to Wuthering Waves, right? They're very similar to each other. So if you're playing one, it's very much like, it isn't that different from playing the other, right? You can pick which one you prefer, and it's close enough. Just like Impact 3rd and Punishing Grey Raven, you know, they're different enough, but they're close enough where they're the same genre. There we go, right? There is no turn-based RPG mobile / gacha game in the current field of games now, and that is a major issue, right? There's nothing there that you can play other than Star Rail. And I've even started playing, like, there's one coming out called, like, Ethereal Restart, which I started playing it, and it's a fun game, but I'm gonna tell you, I can already feel the paywall when trying to upgrade my characters. Like, I can't upgrade my characters because there's certain content you can't do for higher levels of equipment or whatnot.
Yeah.
And, you know, Star Rail never had that. Star Rail never had, oh, you wanna get this artifact that's best for your character. Oh yeah, no, it's sorry, your level's too low to get it. You're just gonna keep dying and dying and dying. You have to do it at a super high difficulty, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was very quick and easy to get to the level you needed to be. And in Star Rail, you can feel the difference with level, right? You feel the level differences, which a lot of turn-based gacha games don't have. A lot of turn-based gacha games, level 50, level 80 feel the freaking same. And it's, oh no, you have to have this high-end equipment you gotta grind. And you're like, what did the last 30 levels do? You know? I do think, so right now we got the two controversies going on. They're all around Serene, aka Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
First one being is that people are saying that she's a unit for whales. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've already said this, but if you're playing through the Amphoria storyline and you have not summoned for any of the 13, because right now there should be 13 different crisis errors, technically 12 that are out, the 13th we get for free, right? You have the main character, you have Don Hang, and you have March 7th, Agilia and Tribi, Kitty Cat Girl, Castoris,
Mm-hmm.
My Day, Anaxa, Hyacinth, or Hyacinth,
Mm-hmm.
Electra, Daedra. Is Serene the last one, or am I missing one? Oh, Finon, right? So the three four things you have Finon, right? If you've not summoned for any of these characters, I don't really think you get to complain about not having one of them. I mean, like, let's be fair. I mean, your honest opinion. Has there ever been a character in Star Rail that is released other than perhaps Acheron that is on par with any of the Crisis Era characters?
Reshape. This is my
That you would say is that is better than the Crisis Era character.
That's a hard.
I'll be honest, I
I
cannot speak for Agilia, Kitty Cat Girl, or Hyacinth, because I do not have them, right? But I do have, I have C6 Fox Girl, I have C6 Acheron, C6 Illuminous Nube, right? I have the C6 characters that were broken when they released, right?
Bask in the sunlight.
And I will say that none of them, like, if we take a look at, like, again, skipping Agilia, because, you know, Agilia's the first that released. She's obviously going to be the worst, I think, in my mind. Right? She's the first that released. She's before they actually probably worked out all of the characters. She's most likely going to be the worst. Just because that's how it always goes, right? It's normally how it works. It's not an attack on Agilia, just even in Genshin and Wuthering Waves, same way, right?
Winners win.
And when you take a look at it, Agilia is going to be the worst of the bunch. Tribi is really good support. I don't feel like she is on level of Ruan Mei when you take a look at the fact that you can now easily see Ruan Mei with the upgrade system, right?
Yeah.
Because now you can actually get the constellations for Ruan Mei free to play, thanks to the new systems that were implemented, where if you pull a duplicate 5-star, when you've already C6'd it, unlike Genshin, when you get you can get level 100, and this one you get an item which allows you to pull a specific concept you want for the character you want, which is, I think you and I can agree, is better than level 100, right?
Oh yeah.
That's way better than level 100. So now, I mean, like, it is reasonable that people could actually go for a C6 Ruan Mei, and a C6 Ruan Mei is going to be better than a C1 Tribi, especially if you have a C6 Ruan Mei with her light bow. But with that said, we're not going to, you know, like that's only like a C6 situation, right? I mean, if we take a look at your typical, if we go past Agilia and Tribi, right?
Yeah.
Then let's pick up the big one. My Day. What male character pre-My Day is as cool as My Day?
Oh, none. They have not been as good.
I mean,
he came out and he came out. He literally came out to be the king of the character. He couldn't know.
I can only name 2 characters.
Who?
Blade? Blade is still a cool design. Blade's design is really cool. Alright, you can't deny Blade has a really badass design. And Don Hang Limbus Nube. those two designs are probably the only designs that stand on par with My Day. I'm talking design only, right? But those two came so long ago that
Listen carefully.
you had more than enough time to save up to pulling them, right?
In the limelight.
And when you only have two male characters that are like really badass in the game, like, you know, it shouldn't have been an easy pull for My Day, right?
Who's the caged bird now?
Let's see. So you have My Day and Axis. I think if we take a look at just all two characters, My Day, Anaxis, and Final are all the same, right? There's not enough male characters in the game that make good, well-designed male characters. It makes well-designed male characters much fun. I like Dr. Ratios, but let's be real, he's not, you know, he's not that really cool design. It's like, I don't look at Dr. Ratio's design and be like, oh man, this guy is so cool. I look at his design like, yeah, he's cool, but he's no Blade. He's no Blade. He's no
Together we be reduced to sin.
Illuminous Dubé. Right? Illuminous Dubé is one of the coolest designed characters I think he's. So, but like these characters, they're not that, right? They're not that level. So, there's enough for me, in my opinion. There's enough space to go that you could actually easily pull through these characters and be like, yeah, okay, these characters are cool. I think male characters alone are worth pulling for the crisis era, as there's just not been many. And I get, but you know, maybe some characters, you know, they don't. Maybe some people don't like male characters. Right? They just want female characters. I'm gonna be honest. I always thought that was weird. Why would you only want female characters?
That's true.
I always thought that was weird. Like,
I think mostly because
like,
they have always taken it as a gacha game, so you are basically catering to a majority of your players, and you know exactly what your players want. So they're catering to have female characters and male characters in that sense.
For me, it feels more like. Wait, what?
No.
Oh, Topper.
Topper, this is like, are you awake?
Yeah, no. This is our first ever podcast. We're starting a podcast every week, my Sunday, his Saturday. We're gonna start a podcast. We're gonna talk about the gacha games.
There you go.
You know, good time for people to ask questions. Since I'm a whale, well, I'm as close to a whale as I get, and he is the free-to-play aspect. It gives kind of a dual aspect of these games come from both free-to-play and whales, which I think is, you know, kind of nice to have.
I like how he says that
the
answer to that is animated titties, and he's right. He's correct. Sorry.
But
That is the point of it. That is the point of it.
Think about it. They're turning a game into cheap porn. If you want to watch anime titties, just go watch hentai.
But that's the problem. The thing about it is that all of that is getting censored to the point right now. So you realize that what games have done, it has some. And the thing is, most people have looked and said how Genshin is getting it, how Wuthering Waves is doing it. I have seen some games, what they have done. I'm like, oh my god. They literally got away with it. I'm like, they are just on the verge of being porn. I'm like, any more? If they show any more, that game is literally going to go adultery. It can't do nothing else but adultery.
To be fair, to be fair, right?
Yes.
In that the censorship is only occurring outside of Asia, dude. In Asia, it is freaking everywhere. Like, I mean, like this type of shit. I actually probably have a bigger issue with it just because I have to constantly see that. Whenever I'm like get an ad on Google Play, it's just like hypersexual game, and I'm like, what the fuck point is this? Just go watch a porn. Like, it's always some big titty girl, and I'm just like, why do you care? Go watch porn. Go jack off. Like, come on, man. You know. But again, like, I mean, like, again, this comes down. Again, I think it's totally fine. Like, I think it's healthy, personally, to go for two healthy characters. Like go for a mix of characters. Right? I think that's healthy, right? You go for a mix of characters that you want. If you're summoning only for girls because you only want girls, or you're summoning only for guys because you're sexist and think that only guys should be in action games, then I think you're stupid on both ends, personally. You know.
Which is true.
Man, I agree. Dude. Like the borderline fan service, I hate fan service.
The borderline fan service has got that's very true, but I will think pause is that the problem is when then you said the problem is when it does include that borderline fan service. They have learned in a sense where that line can be as to how far they can go without actually going into the realm of having to change their rating. And they realize that psychologically wise, they can get a lot from a certain group of targeted people that they know they're trying to target. And you realize it's always the weak and the vulnerable ones that they always try to get, which tends to be the problem because that's what they go for, because that's all they will get. So they gravitate towards it, they spend money on in order to see it. Because they say this is all they can get. And I'm like, how do you justify a company doing something like this? Preying on a victim of society. Preying on them in such a way that it's like you're preying on their fantasies, the things that you know that will catch their eye. So basically you know that it's all the eye. It's once you get them in the eyes, that's it. And then you have where they saying certain things, so they love them, they have this to them, they have caring for them. Things that they know that they would normally never have, you give that to them. That's in a way that is, as we'll say, as hypersexualized as possible. And that's what they hold on to.
I think for the answer to this one, this is actually something that I can actually answer much better than I think anyone else, because I can tell you how it is in Asia, right? And I'm gonna be honest, this Western culture.
But before you go ahead, I have to pick up Soup in the chat. Soup, good to see you, man. We hope to have you on this podcast at some point in time. I know you'd be pretty good. So I'll get in touch with you and we'll see what can work out to bring you up on it.
Yeah, I want to get people on here. I want to get more people on here. I think the more we get talking about it, the better.
Yeah.
Because I personally feel like content creation for gacha games nowadays has either become drama farming or sucking the company's dick. You know, you're not actual fair legitness where it's like, okay, this is good.
That's basically all I'm saying about it.
Be fair. No, so okay, we're talking about the hypersexualization, right? This is something that's got to be remembered. Western and Asian culture is very different on this, right? So we're gonna get a little bit of a culture thing here. So what Asian culture is very big on all of the bad things that happen in the West don't happen in Asia. Now this Asian culture includes India, so Nero, this does include India, so you can probably confirm this as well. Japan, China, I'm talking Asian in general, right? And the way they kind of confirm this ideology is they hide it, right? So like women's rights, for example, in the West are much more respected than it is in the East. So, for example, things in America and Europe and Canada and I mean maybe I don't know about the Caribbean, you can confirm this, that are illegal there are not illegal here. So I'll use Japan for example, right? Just recently, they raised the age of consent in Japan from 14 to 16. I mean, think about it. A 14-year-old, an adult could have sex with a 14-year-old, and that was legal. The rape laws in Japan are a joke. There is an actual real case where a guy, a grown man, had a 14-year-old, and the court ruled it not rape because she didn't try hard enough to get away. She was 14, man.
Wait. Say that again. The court didn't do because she didn't fight hard enough to get away.
The court did not rape because they said she did not try physically hard enough to get away. Now, let's make it even harder for you, right? And I'm pretty sure, Nora, you can agree that in India, women's rights are pretty bad too.
Oh, no.
Because, I mean, you know, and this is not an attack on people, by the way, to be fair. This is not an attack on people. This is a failure of governments, all right? But this is kind of what determines things, right? And I don't really want to get too much in the political aspect, but this is important. In Japan, so because I'll use Japan for an example, right? a lot of women don't come forth with this because they know they're most likely not going to be believed. However, if a woman was to say, for example, carry mace, now she's committed a crime. You cannot carry mace. You cannot carry any tool to actually
protect yourself. That's wild.
Protect yourself. You cannot even, like, okay, let's just say a guy sees another guy committing these acts, right? And he physically prevents the guy and ties the guy up and waits for the police, right? We call it citizen arrest. He would be illegal for tying the guy up.
What?
I mean, so the thing is that, right, like in the U.S., right, and I'm pretty sure Canada and Europe the same way, if the girl says no, or the girl is drunk, same goes for the guy, or the girl has special needs, the girl cannot, reasonably say yes or no, it is considered rape, right? Now, to be fair, the U.S. kind of goes to the opposite end, where you do something, they agree, and then they have to, like, literally have a guy sign a contract.
Yeah.
But I will be honest, I would prefer that, because at least that way it's just like, okay, we're going to protect yourself. You're trying to protect yourself with the guy, that's a less likely problem. But when you consider that ideology, right, and how that is how, I mean, and the amount of, oh my god.
My blade!
Rape porn in Japan is freaking insane. Every single rape porn in Japan starts off with a girl being raped, and then it turns into, oh, she's in love. And I'm including.
Hopefully, waves
Yes,
rise.
100%. Where the girl, and you would only notice it in Japan, would be elementary school age. And I know this because I know the fact. Elementary school kids use the same backpack, and only elementary school kids use this backpack. And there's so many of these where they're carrying this backpack, and it is legal to make in Japan. Now, the actress is over 18, but the scenario is CP, and that's legal. It's pretty fucked up, to be perfectly honest, pardon my language, but it is. Now, when you consider that part of the culture, right? And I guarantee you it's the same or worse in China. It's the same or worse in Korea. It's worse in Southern Asian countries, right? When you consider that type of culture and that a lot of these gotcha games are made in Asia, you can see why this kind of content is considered, why it's a normal thing to be made by them. And to be fair, Genshin in other ways are not bad at all. But if you see some of the commercials I've seen, holy cow, dude, they are bad. They are so bad. And I'm just like, this girl is literally wearing a bikini and has, first of all, boobs that are too big for an Asian. I live in Asia, sorry. Asians don't have boobs that big usually. And when they are, it's always funny, by the way, because like when they're this big, they're like perfectly perky. If you've ever seen a girl with really big boobs, and any girl with really big boobs will tell you this, it's so. Like, I don't know a lot about India. That's why I said you could confirm it or not. But I do know if we go to like the Oriental part of Asia, very, very, very bad. And so like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad I know the girl there because I probably killed her because that's my girl. Like, to be perfectly honest. And so like, this is something that it's pretty serious. I mean, and there's a really, if anyone's watching the stream and wants to learn up a really fucked up case, go look up the case of Junko from the 1980s in Saitama. Look at what happened to the guys who committed this crime. I mean, like, we're talking, this would be a death sentence or a life sentence in any country. And for some reason, they got like less than 50. But when you look at what the case is, it's one of the worst cases in the world. It's actually on YouTube by a lot of people. And it's really, really sad. But when you look at that, it does kind of explain why we see homosexuality in the game. And again, I don't feel Impact 3rd or Weathering Waves, or I don't feel like Realverse or Kuro Games actually does it. But I do think that if you're only summoning a game because you want a girl, I mean, you're only summoning girl characters in a game, I think you're just being weird. I mean, that's just a weird thing for me. It's like, why just only get girls? Like, go for the guy, I mean, like, get anyone you want. Like, I like Dacron, man. I didn't just summon Dacron for a wolf. I like doing this to Bay. So, if you didn't summon for an Access, My Day, or Final. Because you only want girl characters. And you're just fucking I'm sorry. If you didn't summon for them because you don't like them, okay. If you didn't summon for them because you only want girl characters, then you're kind of fucking dead. What the hell is wrong with you? Go get a girl, man. Like, let me get these guys. They're cool. But Finon, by the way, if anyone does not have Finon, best BTS. Quick survey to anyone in chat. How many of y'all got Finon? Let me know. How many chat got Finon? If you play Star Rail. If you play Star Rail. If none of you play Star Rail, then what is wrong with you? Don't play Star Rail. Nero, we cannot be friends. Sorry.
Nero. But because I didn't say it because he said it. I thought what Topper said funny. Remember, ladies and gents, it's considered rape if he yells.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, like, man.
Topper, you say some of the craziest shit.
You know, the reason we can make those jokes is because we live in a country where if that shit actually happens, people, there are consequences, right?
Yes, that's very true.
Like, that's why we can make those jokes, because when that shit happens, there's consequences, right?
One embodiment in that.
Now, I know a lot of people don't play. I know a lot of people don't play Star Rail. To be fair, I grew up on turn-based RPGs, right?
Same.
So,
I think that's the thing. A lot of them who playing it came from the Genshin era. They don't know about turn-based RPGs and having the fun with it. So a lot of them, when they realize that they can't just mash keys and go, they realize it's like, yeah, this thing has stuff in it that does not meet up to us at all. So they just quit.
Well, it's also going to come from their generation, whatever generation you come up growing, right? Mm-hmm. I was born in the 80s. I grew up during during the Final Fantasy hype, right? During Final Fantasy 7.
Oh,
8,
yeah.
9. When 7, 8, and 9 came out, if you were not old enough when 7, 8, and 9 came out, you are not going to understand turn-based RPGs.
Because turn-based RPGs, I think, evolved from then, It was from then that it evolved. Because it was not turn-based, and then it went into active time-based turn RPGs. And since everything's happening at the same point, you stop being in a sense where the game is paused when you can't make a selection, and then being an active time back with everything is happening, so you have to be on the ball and moving fast.
And I mean, like, well, with a turn-based RPG, right? You have to have a good storyline, right? This is why, if you look at turn-based RPGs, so few exist realistically compared to the game, right? Final Fantasy is by far the biggest, followed by Dragon Quest, right?
Yes.
Now, if you take a look at Final Fantasy 1 through 9, after 9 you get to 10, that's when they really started to change the systems.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you have Final Fantasy... I gotta skip 11 because that's in mode. 12 and 13, which is really not turn-based anymore. I mean, I personally am not. The stories were great, but I like them, but I don't like them as much as I like the original. For me, Final Fantasy 4 is amazing. If you've never played Final Fantasy 6, guys, that is one of the must-play games out there. Final Fantasy 6 is such an amazing game. That if you've never played Final Fantasy 6, you have to go and play this game because for being Super Nintendo, this game it's incredible.
Oceans.
Like, it is known as one of the best turn-based ever. But, second, that's you. When we get to our turn-based games, right? PlayStation was the god age of turn-based RPGs. If you were not around during the PlayStation 1 era, you probably will never understand the true feeling behind turn-based RPGs. PlayStation 1 had the best turn-based RPGs ever. You had Xenogears, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, the remakes of Final Fantasy 6, and Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 5. You had Chrono Trigger remake, Legend of Dragoon. I mean, you had these games are. I mean, like, dude, they're so good. Like, Legend of Dragoon, I don't know why Sony never remade it with updated graphics, because they just released that game on the PlayStation Store, and that game sells. Like, but if you did not grow up during this time age, right? If you grew up during, like, Minecraft, or during the age of more action-oriented games,
Yeah.
it's really hard to understand why anyone would play these games. For me personally, I have waited. I started playing mobile games maybe 14 years ago, and I waited, I think, 12. I waited that 14 years to get an actual mobile game that was a turn-based RPG that was actually good. Like it was a long time I had to wait for that because all you ever got was the crap. You know, and they were bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, Final Fantasy mobile games are absolute. It is one of the saddest things to see Final Fantasy release because of the fact that I know how good it could have been, and the fact that they obviously just did a cheap cash grab by using their name was depressing for me. So I do get why people don't play Star Wars, right? I get that it's really hard to get into a turn-based RPG if you did not grow up in that era. Final Fantasy VII is really good. But I like it. I'll be honest, I still like the original more than the remake. I don't like the remake that much. I think it's okay, but I don't like. I wanted original turn-based. I love turn-based. I love to be able to relax and enjoy the story, right?
I thought when they said they would go back to that kind of method. I was like, oh, so we're gonna go back where you just run around and then just stick with what? No, that it was kind of then scripted in the sense of like and we runs into I'm like, no. We're not playing Pokemon.
I mean, it's just kind of sad because we're also seeing another game is kind of going the way of the dodo. The turn-based games like Fire Emblem. You know, I mean, like again, that's another one where you just didn't see many of them. But Fire Emblem was good. You had, if you've ever played Sega CD, anyone who grew up with Sega CD knows a Dark Wizard. Oh, Dark Wizard.
I grew up with Sega CD, but I never had a game.
Dude, Dark Wizard, man, is so cool. It's like Fire Emblem meets Dungeons and Dragons. It's so cool.
That's gotta be.
You have 4 different characters to pick from. 2 good characters, and you can play 2 villains. But yeah, it's really, dude, it's a really fun game. I'm not gonna lie. Nowadays it would be hard to get through with all the upgrades we have, but like, dude, I might have to actually go through there and play that game again sometime. It is hard. Like your character dies, when a character dies, they're dead. But unlike Fire Emblem, where you actually have characters that have personalities, they're all just soldiers, right? So your main character is someone's a soldier, right?
Loading.
And you lose the game if your main character dies or if they get to your castle, right? That's how you lose the game. It's really cool. I like it.
Stay calm.
But yeah, so back to Star Wars, right? I mean, like, we went over the male characters. Let's talk about the female characters. Okay, you have Agilia, Tribi. Okay, I get not some of them. They're the first of their type. I wasn't that. I personally did not find Agilia all that attractive to go for. I just didn't care for her personality that much. Tribi, you know my feeling on TV characters, right? I'm not a TV guy. I don't like TV. That's why it's such an amazing thing that I actually pulled for Naida, right? And then actually C6 Naida, because it's just like, well, it's Naida. I have to C6 Naida. It's Naida. When it comes to, so I can understand not playing for Tribi.
How would you call her a chicken?
I will say that Caster, I don't get why people would not pull for Caster. Like, Castress, of all characters, why would you skip Caster? That one to me does not make sense.
I think that's why everybody
was
wasn't up for
Praise me.
Yeah, Castress Castress is the most pull. If you skip Castress, then that's on you. I mean, that's you being dumb. Like, I'm sorry, that's like, it's Castress. It's Castress. How do you not pull Castress? And then of course, you know that you. So let's talk about the two hypest characters, right? Castress. Oh, by the way, Nero, just so you know, Don Hang will be free. The newest Don Hang's free. Between Casterus and between Finon, if you did not pull either of those two characters, I don't know what to say to you about it. Like, those are the two biggest characters that you could have pulled, and they're the two hypest characters in game. So I don't understand why people would not pull for those two characters. I can understand why you might skip My Day or like my Day, or you might have. To be fair, Sip Pass. I'm talking about people who play the game regularly, right? Oh, I got an ad start. I got an ad start in 30 seconds, guys. So if you're on my channel, you might get that ad for a bit. Yes, the new Don Hang is coming free in about 2 weeks. So I would suggest, if you have the game on your whatever, get the new Don Hang. Just because, I mean, he's free. Log in, get him, and then, you know, do whatever afterwards. But there's no reason not to grab the new Don Hang. You know, get a free character when they're free, right? We get the free ones again here. Oh, we do get free ones. Every time I'm precious. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I do think, like, if you play the game regularly, right? I'm not talking about people who don't, like, haven't logged into the game for a while or aren't playing the game. I'm talking about people who are playing the game regularly. If you play the game regularly, but then you're going to complain that you don't have the, you don't have any crisis errors, and that you need to, and that the new Siren is a whale character because you have to have the crisis errors. I just got to look at you and ask what world you're living in, right? Like, you have number one, the MC, and you got Don Hang. There's two characters right off the bat. And if you did not pull any other character, like, why would you skip Casterus? Why would you skip Finon if you're playing the game regularly? I mean, if you got Cypher, I mean Cypher makes it, like, Cypher's cool, but then again, you've got Cypher, right? That means you have 4 characters, right? All you need is one character that you summon for, and then you have a group for Alicia. It's and if anyone here, like, by the way, if you guys have not taken a look at Alicia, at the new Assyrian or Alicia, I call her Alicia because she's Alicia. If you've not taken a look at her, she pretty much turns your your C1 characters into C6. Like, with Finon specifically, right? With Finon, she allows Finon to stay in God mode. Is this the... Oh, okay. I gotta kill them. If you've actually, have Finon, what she does with Finon is she allows Finon to stay in God mode indefinitely as long as his HP is there. But then you gotta remember, we get Don Hang for free, which is gonna be a God tier shielder who can continue to shield Don Hang while he is in dragon while he's in his God form. So you've got an infinite shielder, and then you've got Alicia, who is going to allow him to keep his turns infinitely, right? You just gotta not lose all your HP, which is normal, and increases damage output. Like, Alicia turns Finon into a C6 character. If you have Alicia with Casterus, right? She's gonna turn Casterus into a crazy damage character because now Casterus can build up the ultimate form for 200, increasing overall damage. Like, Serena is just going to make your free-to-play account a God account. That's all it does. Like, so I don't understand why people are trying to claim that she is a whale character when it's just like, she literally makes your account a pay-to-win account. So I don't get. I will never understand that complaint. I do think it's funny how people are talking about how they're not going to summon for Alicia because it's like, I don't know why. I mean, like, I'm curious. That's what I don't get. Like, I'm not going to summon for Alicia because I'll be honest, I don't watch it because the person I saw that on is an AI account, and I just don't watch AI accounts on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I got my lunch. Is there a straw in here? Did they not give me a straw? Those motherfuckers. God, Japanese Burger King sucks. Where's my straw at? Alright. By the way, I was gonna tell you, Pirate. By the way, Nero, I would highly suggest against Resident Evil 6, man. Holy crap, I tried to play that game. That game is awful. And I love that game when it came out. It is awful. Alright. Take care of something for this. Pirate, you still there? I do know Pirate plays Star Rail, he plays Impact 3rd, he plays Genshin, he plays Wuthering Waves. Now he's probably, I don't think he's asleep, man. He's not that bad yet. Yeah. I do love the Need for Speed, like Need for Speed Most Wanted is really fun, especially if you get a steering wheel for it, man. I got a steering wheel for mine. That game is fun. If you're going to, okay, my personal, I got one for you, Nero. If you want to upload a Resident Evil game, just do Sweet Home, man. That game is so much fun. It's on Nintendo. It's hard, but it's fun. It's like the first ever survival horror or turn-based RPG. It's a lot of fun. And it is very puzzle-driven. That's what I would suggest. If you want to play a more modern game, I would go just do the remake of Resident Evil 1. That's a good one. Or Resident Evil 4, dude. Resident Evil 4 is always a good one to go on. 6? Man, with 6, the issue with 6 is that the issue with 6 is the fact that you can get hit during cutscenes, which to me never made sense why I'm getting hit during a cutscene, you know? That's why I've always hated, like, I tried to go back to and play 6 because I always liked 6 when I was young, you know, when it first came out. But I hate to say, 5 is better than 6. I actually played 5, enjoyed 5, went to go play 6. Not only was it almost impossible to even get started, you can't skip the cutscenes, and they have the dumbest characters ever in 6. I mean, like, Leon's just dumb in 6, man. Holy crap. The fact that he can't figure crap out is ridiculous. Pirate, welcome back, man. I'm gonna start eating my lunch, guys. Heads up, I'm gonna be eating lunch here. Pirate, you still there? Oh, my lunch, I got my lunch ready. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm right back. Just getting my lunch ready. I haven't eaten anything else. I will say, by the way, if you have Casterus, man, you got Casterus, March Evernight or March 7th is absolutely amazing for this team. Absolutely love her. Bless me, Migros. Bless me. Hey, I win. Yay, I win. We'll do this one. Do I get another one? I do get a gold. Ah, that feels good. Like that. Ooh, hunt. Take the hunt. We need the hunt. Okay. What are you gonna give me? By the way, I love the simulated universe. If you guys have never done the simulated universe, it is so much fun. I really like it. All right, here we go. What do we got? And we are winning. Oh God, we're winning. Holy crap. Okay, here's a question. We're at a higher level, so let's take the damage mitigation, because that's going to be really useful. And then this one, what's this one giving us? Obtain the 100 reward. I don't give a crap about doing the fight. Okay. Wealth. Perfect. Increase final damage dealt. But yeah, I'll be honest, man, like, I don't get why people would not summon for, like, again, this just goes if you play the game regularly, right? If you're playing Star Rail regularly, why you wouldn't have summoned for any of the Crisis Airs. I mean, you gotta talk about that. That's like a full year of not summoning. And I'll never get players who play that game like that, you know? That son of a bitch. Sorry. Really eating. There we go. Conversion. Okay. There we go. Last conversion we need. Alrighty. Here we go. That took too long to kill. Okay. Let our dragon kill. Alright. Bring our march. Summon our Eevee. There. You okay, man?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, so something else that's going on. Apparently, people are already starting to, like, you know, talk about the next area we go to in Star Rail. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't get why you play these games if you're always looking months ahead of the event, right? Like, because, like, that next area is not at least for another 4 to 6 months. How are you gonna enjoy? How do you enjoy this game if you're always looking 4 to 6 months in advance, right? Especially when we're not talking about
4 to 6 months, especially.
I mean, well, the fact of the matter is, I mean, you can't enjoy a game if you're like, well, I'm not going to summon for this character because the next character is going to be more broken. Dude, the next character is always going to be more broken. That's what
True.
it does.
It's true.
Now, I do think it's different.
Shut up. Look at that. It's in a nice wiki.
I do think it's different if we're, like, in the area and you've already seen the character. So, for example, if you saw Finon and you're like, okay, I'm saving for Finon, right? Or you saw Castris and you're like, okay, I'm saving for Castris.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense, right? You're saving for that, right? But be like, oh, I heard a leak that we're gonna get a new Sparkle, so I'm gonna save for her. Like, first of all, hey, I hate the spreading of unconfirmed
Thanks for
news.
watching.
I think if it's been confirmed, it's fine, right?
A perfect chord.
Especially in, like, okay, it's like, for example, anybody here use Honey Hunter? That's like, I like that site because they don't release things. They only release information one patch ahead, right? Like, to be honest, it should be. So you can actually take a look at the next patch and decide, okay, do I want this character in the next patch, right? You're not actually looking 3-4 patches ahead. And the biggest issue, right, when people do that, is that when the character gets nerfed or buffed or whatever, like if the person has already spent their wishes on another character because, oh, this character's not that good, right? And then the character gets buffed before they're released, then they complain about the company, like the company, right? Like the company screwed them over, even though the company did not release the leaks. That's what's happening in Genshin, remember? back with Zhongli, right?
Oh yeah.
Like everyone talked about how bad he was, and he was a freaking god. And then they buffed him, and then everyone's complaining about that how it wasn't fair. And it's like, look, I mean, like it's not their fault. You weren't paying attention to leaks. I mean, you're watching leaks. You know, and like again, I do feel like that is the Genshin player base of this game, not the Impact player base, because I have never seen leaks in Impact 3rd that were past the next patch, right? Every time I've seen leaks in Impact 3rd, it's always the next patch, not 3 patches later. I mean, have you ever seen, like, in Impact 3rd, have you ever seen leaks that were like 3 patches in advance? Or is it always the next patch too?
Of course I did this.
It is.
Wind calls, waves follow.
So, like, I mean, for me personally, I hate that, and then people are already complaining about crap like, I know people are talking about how they're going to skip Serene because they're going to summon for Sparkle in, like, the next area, and it's like,
Wind howls. Unfettered by
okay, well, so you're like, you know, when Sparkle comes out, there's going to be a better character, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's just how it happens. Especially if Sparkle's one of the first to come out, you know? Have you looked at Serene's kit yet, by the way?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking
The nice thing about Serene, for anyone who's playing Star Rail, the nice thing about Serene's kit is that she is God tier at C0. C6 and I think C2 do a little bit of kind of give a little bit more of a damage boost, but it's nothing like, for example, Sundays. Sundays C6 is like a must. Sundays C6 is just C0 Sunday, C0 Sunday and C6 Sunday are 2 different characters, right? Mm-hmm. But for Serene, C6 does not look as game-changing as C6 Sunday does. She looks really good at C0, whereas C0 Serene still looks like, you know, she still looks like a triple S character.
Because she
you know,
is.
I think if you get C6 of her, maybe you can go like to say triple S plus, but or you can even just say Z tier, right? If you want to go up there. But like when you're taking a look at, for example, Sunday, right? Sunday I think is an S character, yeah. But when you have him at C6, he's freaking triple S. His C6 is so broken, it's not even funny. I mean, like pretty much any crit rate above crit damage now becomes crit damage. So, you know, that's a really broken thing there. So I am glad to see that she's not that broken at C6. I really would have hated that, honestly, because of the fact that it just means people have to summon for her C6. And I would rather... I prefer a character not feel like you have to have their C6, right? Ooh, this looks pretty nice. Okay. What we got here? Destroy all... Hell yeah, we want to do that. What are these stupid broken traps?
Yeah, I was wondering about if we do put a plug in this, because even though we wouldn't just want to, like, tip on the iceberg, we have gone for about, how long? Maybe about 2.5 months at least.
Yeah.
So, this is a conversation that is just gonna keep on going. So, you know, you can get on the conversation, so you can get on the conversation, or we can get on the conversation, just send us a DM, try to work it out, bring everybody in, so we can have like really good, thoughtful discussion exactly positions of where we are, the game itself. So, where, as individuals, what we see where the game is going, or the highs and the lows, if what's really happening with the game currently, if that is a sense of where it should be and where we think it's not directly because it could be better. All everything. So, I would like to thank Zeke for taking the time coming together for this podcast. Like all of you who turned up.
The blade
First pass it through, but then realize
is
it's
often the sharpest.
just as Zeke said, we're gonna try to do this at least every week. So you have a chance to always come in, ask questions, join the conversation. Maybe be a guest on the show. on the podcast. That's it. And let's have a really good conversation about what gotchas are exactly. To see that it's not just how to put it. We're not just on the old school. Is that you have those with the play both the excitement of the gotcha itself. Yes, we know it's gotcha, yeah, but still the excitement that you get with
Good
doing
boy.
everything else from what you think.
Good actions.
So, if you have any closing remarks, so you're gonna.
So I'm gonna say, like, for anyone, like, this is gonna be a good opportunity as well, because I want to also take this time to answer questions for maybe new players or people who are looking to get into gacha games. You know, a big thing about if you guys watch content creators for gacha games, I think you've all it's pretty obvious that they don't usually say much different. They almost always say the same thing, and I kind of want to make this one different. So, like, again, we have a experience as a free-to-play player. We have experience as a whale. I get questions from some people about these games, so I think it's a good time to, like, if you have any games, go ahead and ask those those questions about the games, things that you might want to actually learn about, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. And again, like, I want to keep this just again as drama-free as possible. Like, I do want to avoid like game drama. I think is fine. But I do want to avoid, like, drama with other players, because I mean, like, other content creators, mostly just because I don't really care what they think at this point. Like, I've already lost faith in a lot of them. I also want to kind of, like, put up builds and whatnot, like discuss builds or different type of fun team builds you can run. If you haven't played Star Rail, I'm going to be doing a lot of Star Rail talk around here, so it is something where I'll probably be doing a lot of Star Rail builds or things that are fun to do. Maybe not optimal, but fun. I know Pyro will probably do a lot of things with it anyways. Genshin will, in my opinion, will always get respect, because Genshin is the first of what we can consider a gacha game nowadays. And I do think Genshin deserves respect for that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, you got to respect the Genshin for that. That was they started the games with how they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really about it. And then it is going to be usually, my plan is to start usually I'll give my Japanese time, then I'll Pirate give his time. But for Japanese time, it would be around 10 a.m. every Sunday morning. And then what time was that for you when we started, when I got up, we started talking?
That would be somewhere like around 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So,
9 p.m. I wouldn't say Atlantic. Because we go more closer to EST than anything else.
Okay. So yeah, if you're interested in joining the conversation, you know, I would love to have more people join the conversation. I also would love to invite people, like, if you're a content creator yourself, if you're either usually in Pirate Stream or my stream, and you wanna, you know, would like to join, so, you know, when we do these discussions, you know, hit us up. I mean, I'm more than willing to do it. We want to kind of try and get things running first and get our stuff established. But I would also like to, you know, hopefully in the future, have daily, you know, like have a weekly guest, somebody else who plays the game who might be able to give their own opinion. I think it's important to share opinions in this game. And so that's kind of my goal here. I really like these games. I think they're a lot of fun. I know that a lot of people, you know, struggling with different games they want to play, but I think, you know, and to be honest, I find a lot of games have now become mostly just a place for kind of like drama, and people have lost the enjoyment of just playing games. So if you're interested in joining a future chat, hit up Pirate, or you can hit myself. I think most of you are in
links will be
Discord.
in the description below.
Yeah, I'll put my links in the description. I'll also post my Discord group down there if you want to join the Discord groups. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna finish off this run, and then I'm probably gonna go off. I'm right at the end of it, and I was gonna tell you one thing, Pirate, before, but I keep forgetting to tell you. If you get a chance, hop over to my stream. I want to show you what this team does in the simulated universe.
Okay.
This team is so much fun, dude. I'm using this is the level 5 difficulty, mostly because level 7 forever. This is insane damage we're gonna like from this team here. We should. I think all of our things are these all maxed? Let me double check here. Yeah, we're all here. This new team for casters is so much fun.
Good boy.
So, we start off top of this here. They're fighting, obviously, the caster's dragon. This is, by the way, for anyone curious, this is a C6 Casteress and a C0 Evernight. Look how much damage that do. 7 million. That was 7 million damage.
They've been doing the damage.
Just with her freaking scythe attack. There's 5 million damage, almost 6 million. What is this one do?
Well, for my end, I'm
11 million.
Good
Let's do Dragon Slap here.
I'm gonna do my close off and that one.
I'll probably go off after this because I want to eat lunch. I'm hungry still. We're right at the boss, and I want to beat this boss. Pop our buffs. All right, here we go. March 7th. Now we're getting more. We get more damage. 4.3 mil. Keep our shields up. Proc. Tribute's follow-up attack. Like, they're not doing much damage. Okay. So let's see how much damage this dragon does. Oh, actually, let's take a look here real quick. Dragon stats. Okay, 146% crit rate, meaning he's going to crit.